Can you hear me through this?
I can, Mr. Sprague. Wow, look at that. Look at that room.
Oh,
Beautiful.
that's a hard studio. All right.
Cool, man. We're gonna give it till 10:32, and then we're gonna go on ahead and get started. Okay?
Okay, so that means when you start speaking, everybody needs their mics, correct?
Yes, I'll be setting those notes. Thank you so much, Mr. Overdyke. And thank you very much, Mr. Tyler, for recording the session.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Morning, Mr. Ortiz.
What's up, guys?
Morning. Buenos dias.
What's up, bro?
Morning.
Morning. Hey, Sprague. Oh my gosh.
Oh, great. How you doing?
All right, everybody. We're gonna go on ahead and get started right now. Can everybody please put their so some of the norms are gonna be microphones on mute unless you will have something to say. If you have something to say, please just unmute yourself and just say, can I ask a question or can I say something? Any clarifications, please feel free to ask any questions. So, right now, everybody should be muted. Thank you very much. I'm not gonna take, one at a time, and I'm not gonna take up too much of your time. So I just want to start off by saying I'm really happy to see all of y'all, especially Mr. Borders driving. Please be safe and don't look at the camera, Mr. Borders, so that you won't get into any kind of situations. Don't worry about this. This is going to be recorded and will be shared. So with that being said, I just want you all to know that I'm really happy to see all of your faces right now. As, you guys are part of my daily show. That kept me that kept me kind of going day to day and stuff. So it's really nice to see you guys. It actually makes me genuinely happy, and I needed to share that with you all before we get started. One quick
you can see Stonewall, but Stonewall is here.
Oh, copy, Mr. Stonewall. Thank you for letting me know. We were about to do a roll call right now. Just because anybody that's missing, I want to make sure that they get this. So with that being said, please just say your name so that way I can know who's unmute yourself and just say Borders.
Mr. Overdyke here.
Overdyke, Rollins, that was you?
Yep, Rollins.
Copy.
Rossi.
Sprague, Rossi.
Rossi. Sprague here.
Sprague.
Frank.
Frank.
Vega.
Lane.
Ortiz.
Mr. Irvin, I thought I seen you over there. Yeah, that's me. This is Mr. Irvin. I'm trying to unmute this. There you go. Look at that guy. All right. So I think that's it.
You get me?
Of course, Mr. Rush. You're like the guy. All right. So please mute yourselves. One quick housekeeping item that I did want to bring up. Does anybody know where the Elmo is? Because Mr. Tyler has been looking for the Elmo. It's a device that you use to project live writing. It's almost like an old school projector. Does anybody know where that's at? I thought I remembered seeing it on the cart for, what do you call that? Townhouse. Mr. Brady was there. Okay.
I don't know what you're referring to.
The Elmo is like this little device. It's like about that big. It's white. It has like a little little camera that you can pull up and it projects.
Hold on, Mr. Funes. Do you think it's in one of those cabinets on the desk? It might be in that one. There's like a flat cabinet right near the desk. And it might even be in one of the desk drawers now that I think about it. I might have seen it, but I'm not 100% sure. In
All right,
Mr. Franco's room.
Okay, cool. Mr. Oberdyke and Mr. Rossi, can I get those combinations after this? Can you email me the combinations to the closets that you guys have?
I don't know about any combinations per se.
Do you have I know you have a lock on yours, Mr. Oberdyke.
I don't have a lock on mine.
I will send you that combination for the lock.
Thank you, Mr. Rossi. We're just trying to find it for Mr. Todd because he doesn't want to use it. It's gonna be very helpful for his class.
And almost
Right,
not
so-
in that closet, but I will send you the combination.
Cool. We just want to cover all bases. So I'm about to present right now what a Google, like, so what I just did right now, you can do with your students. And it's very, very simple. It's like about a 2 or 3 step process. So I'm gonna go on to presentation mode now. And so this is how it works, right? So I sent this email, which I'm gonna send to everybody again, but I just wanted to show you guys how to do this. So if you look at that little, this area right here, do you see this first yellow arrow? Does everyone see that?
I do not.
Okay, so am I not presenting? Am I not in presentation mode?
Yeah, I don't see you presenting. I just see you.
May I say something, Mr. Funes?
Yeah, let me.
Click present now, and then you have to click, you have to select the screen of your choice that you want to present. That's how Google Meets works. Because I even did that with Mr. Sprague on a conference call.
Copy
There you
that.
go.
Here
Now
we
I
go,
see it.
Mr. Oberdyke. Sorry about that, everybody. But I'm presenting to everybody. So does everybody see this yellow arrow right here? Somebody just, okay, good. So what you would do is you would click on this set of boxes right over here, and you'd go to what's called Google Calendars. It's simple. Go to your Google Calendar, and you set up a meeting for your specific day. So, for example, let's say Mr. Ortiz, what day did you select for your direct instruction?
Wednesday at 2.
So I would click on, it would be Wednesday at 2, right? So I clicked on Wednesday, and I go to 2 o'clock. Over here, select the time. I add the title, Mr. Ortiz's class.
Hey, Funes.
Yes, sir?
Not to interrupt, but Benky is asking, can anybody mention so he can come in?
Oh, I'm in the middle of the meeting already.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how to do that. I sent him an invitation.
I'll help Benky out. I'll look into it real quick. Let me get on the line with him.
I appreciate that. So you have to set your day, right? Mr. Ortiz's class, right? It's going to be from 2 to 3 o'clock because it's 1 hour, April 1st, whatever. We're going to add the guest. I'm going to give you a list of student CPS emails so that you can invite them. So you're going to look for your students and you're going to put their names there. So for example, I wanted to invite Ms. Sarah Frank to this meeting. I just put her in there, and you're just going to add all the people that you want in there. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to select this Google Meet video conferencing. There you go. You just did a Google Meet. If you want to add a description, you can put it in there. Mr. Ortiz is going to go over Spanish verbs, whatever that is. Spanish verbs. And then he's going to hit save. And then he's going to hit send. I'm not going to do that because that's just class that day. I don't want you getting any other alerts that day. But it's that simple. Does anybody have any questions on how that is going to be done?
Okay, so I guess I do have one, Mr. Funes.
Go ahead, Mr. Oberdyke.
Because I know I have some of us have 3 separate classes. So how is that going to work? So we're on for an hour a week. Are we just going to answer for all 3 classes? Because some students take geometry in the math-wise. Some students do algebra. Some are more advanced in algebra. So do I just have to basically cover all areas of math if I'm going to present for 1 hour a day?
Yeah. What I want you. Oh, go on ahead, Ms. Swain.
So I had that same thing, but I figured I wouldn't just to my, if I you don't mind me saying this to you, Mr. O'Reilly, just until we get the increase of attendance, then you can think about breaking it up. But right now, just to build the attendance, I the 1 week, and then I was also thinking send out a brand invite to all my students, like create a text where all of them in, and then ask them to but then I felt like I probably couldn't do a grand text because then the people would know each other's phone numbers. But I was thinking to every morning, like communicate with, well, every time I know them, or that week. I can't wait to see you in my case, I can't wait to see you Tuesday and then Wednesday. I can't wait to see you next week, Tuesday, to keep them in their mind. If they keep getting the text to join, then maybe they'll join. If that'll help with attendance with you and your strategy. Maybe you can help me.
What I do want you all to keep in mind is, as you're making your phone calls for the next 2 days, today, tomorrow, is I want you to call your students and let them know that on this day, I'm going to be having direct instruction. I will send you an invite to your CPS email. All right, we're going to try this. This is going to be a trial and error process. It's not going to be 100% that first day. It's going to be very, how would you say, rocky at first. But as we keep going and we keep letting our students know, they're going to start showing up. And I want you to keep in mind that you're not going to be giving them, I still want you to hold the students to a high standard, but I don't want you going into complicated concepts because you're only instructing for 1 hour per week.
May I ask a question, please?
Yes, Mr. Ross.
Is it confirmed the day that we asked for?
Yeah.
Today, or?
Yeah, that schedule is going to be finalized with Mr. Patton today. So before each of you all gets off, I'm just gonna confirm the day with you all, and we're just gonna leave that way.
Also, I've never used Google Classroom before, and when I was watching Mr. Tyler's video in Edsby, I was trying to play around with it and create the classes, and you have to create a meet in the classroom, I noticed, before you can do the schedule. Is that correct? So we are not using Google Classrooms. Mr. Tyler is going to be using Google Classrooms. You're just going to do a Google Hangout, Google Meet, until we start getting those processes, right? We start clearing those processes up. The first thing we want to do is just meet with our students. Wait, hold on, Mr. Funes.
Yes.
But you can use Google Classroom to create the Google Meetups.
Yes,
is that correct? Or?
So let me step in on there, Funes. Basically, this is why he has Mbanky and the rest of the staff that handle student CPS logins are necessary. The reason why we can't continue to use Zoom, and I talked to Funes and a few others about this, is because Zoom is constantly getting hacked. I've heard this from Chicago Public Schools, where people come in and they do funny acts like take a dump in front of people. And so CPS doesn't recommend us, since we're partnering with them, to use it. And this is why we're trying to use Google Classroom. What I showed in the video is currently how CPS teachers utilize it. But I understand what Funes is saying, until we have stress tested. I see where you're going. We probably should just stick with Google Meets until we understand how their CPS EDU logins work, because it will, in fact, if you're inviting students in, block the student from entering the room if they don't have an official. Google Classroom is CPS's way of just getting rid of the de-encryption process. So I don't know if that helps, but I'm just piggybacking on what he's saying.
Yeah, thank you for jumping in, Mr. Tyler. That does make sense. So, Mr. Banky, this is what we're doing right now. We just went over the process. Came in late. So with that being said, I want you all to, if we prefer the functionality and use a password, we want to be able to keep track of this. So if you are using Zoom, again, what Mr. Tyler said was very important. People are hacking in to meeting. And so this Google, we have what's called like a G Suite that only we have access to. And so it's going to be a little bit more difficult for people to do what Mr. Tyler was actually talking about. So if you've been using Zoom, I would suggest that you start to transition to the Google Meet, Google Hangouts, just for the sake of, hey, we're going about the process the way that we were asked to do. Mr. Tyler?
Yeah, I want to add the reason I'm still using Zoom and have been using Zoom is because like right now, I established a room that I normally use for my students, and I have the recording capabilities. Earlier on, I mentioned the need to not have to reteach with Zoom. So that's kind of why I'm leaning towards it. But even right now, when we're meeting, there is no feature for recording in Google Hangouts or Google Meets. I just checked it this morning. So right now, the recording just for quality control and making sure everybody's transparent and seeing in case they missed a meeting, I'm using Zoom parallel or simultaneously with this current meeting we're having. So I'm still recording. I would suggest you use that if you're going to use Google Classroom or Google Meets, because there's not a recording feature.
Can I ask a question? Would Google Hangouts have the capability of student raising their hand? Because right now I don't see that feature.
Yeah, no, that's a feature that's used on Blackboard. I know what you're talking about. And again, you're gonna have to set those norms for your classroom. Everybody's on mute, so you want to say something. I'm assuming we're not gonna get 15 to 20 people on that first day, May 1st. Or not May 1st, which is Friday. But we're gonna start on Monday, all right? Because I'm giving you this information Thursday, tomorrow's Friday. That doesn't work that way.
That capability of muting the whole class and letting them raise hands so they can answer the question and not overtalk each other. Like I don't want to be rude to you. You know what I mean? I want to say everything that you need to say, but if I have a question, I need to be able to, raise my hands.
So she's talking about a feature on Zoom that, I've seen and utilized with students, and it does help with the classroom management. But again, we have to transition towards this because we don't want to be audited and CPS comes back like you were still using Zoom. I've had, and Ms. Lane's been on it, I've had several meetings with CPS and they would prefer us using our CPS IDs. Those of you who are new to Camelot probably have one, never activated it. I'm trying to get Ms. Lane on board with it. I know Funes is in the CTU. He has a CPS, but that's the firewall they're using. So if you feel comfortable using Zoom to answer your question, keep using it, but you still got to learn the features in Google Hangouts or Meets, because they don't have the raise hand feature, but they do allow you to mute students. They do allow you to, block out students, and it's already firewalled. So I don't know what else to say to that.
I want you to keep in mind that this process is crude. I've never used Google Classroom. What we're talking about is using Google Meets and Google Hangouts. And as you all get comfortable with the process, you can incorporate Google Classroom. Remember, this is a rough and tumble process. We're going to transition into it. It's not going to be perfect, but I want you to just start trying it out, especially for 1 hour per week. That is what's being asked of all the teachers and staff. We're going to be popping in to check it out, but please feel, I don't want this to be a stressful process. So if it's starting to become stressful for you, then again, setting those norms. And by the way, these students are going to be at home with their parents. They're not going to be acting up. At least I'm assuming that they're not going to be acting up. So thank you very much, Mr. Tyler. And thank you very much, Mr. Tyler, for clearing up those technical questions as well. This is great.
Yeah, I just had a quick question. Okay, cool. So we're just we could start inviting. You want us to start doing that today or tomorrow to actually pick the meeting date. And I mean, we all have our dates set, but to actually, as soon as you send us the email, we're gonna just invite all the kids then, right? To our class.
Yeah, you're gonna see the students that are on your list, because it's just the whole CPS list of student emails. You're gonna send them to Google, you're gonna call them, and let them know that they are to be there that this upcoming Monday. You might not have any students that show up. Miss she had her classroom, and she had one student show up. So yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Bank. Yeah, posted on Edsby as well. So just use any form that you have to alert these students.
Yeah, I've been alerting them all. I mean, since you told us of this, every day I've been telling them that I need their email addresses. I've been sending out messages to everyone on Edsby. I just want to know when we actually. I mean, should I set the meeting today, or I need the email addresses? So
yeah, I'm going to be sending that after this meeting. So there are going to be two things that I'm going to send out to you. I'm going to be sending out those CPS emails and passwords. The password is very simple. It's the same for all students.
I got a quick idea. Is it possible for us to continue the townhouse? What is it called, Ms. Franks? I think it's your bulletin or your newsletter. I think it is. Have that posted in Edsby by all teachers, and then the meeting dates. So it's kind of giving them the feel like they're in school, even though they're not in school, and they can review that as well. Is that a feasible thing to ask of for us to generate the townhouses? I'm sorry, not townhouses, but the newsletters.
Absolutely. I feel like you and I had this idea in the GGI yesterday.
Yeah, just to get unity.
Because I can create it for the whole school, right? Not just students for the school, but for the
Right, absolutely. And then we can blast that out to the students.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah, thank you very much. So there's going to be two things that I'm going to be sending out. It's going to be the emails and the passwords are all the same. All the same. You will have them. The same thing. And I'm also going to send out how to do the Google Hangouts meeting. Again, as you get more comfortable, you will begin to incorporate Google Classroom or what have you. For your hour per week, the lesson is up to you. I don't want complicated concepts. The reason why is you are not going to be there to support them 24/7. Yesterday, I had David Torres text me at 12:48 a.m.
Yeah, that's same here. Yeah.
And so I'm not available at that time for students. So, a lot of them are going to be dealing with anxiety. They're just going to be off the rails sometimes. I just want you to cover concepts that are going to be useful for them in your particular field, in your subject. Please be lenient with our students when it comes to grading these assignments. The reason why I'm saying that is because right now CPS is trying to CYA themselves, all right? And that means that they'll throw anybody under the bus that they can if they can make themselves look good. I want you all to keep that in mind. You're grading some of these students. Be lenient with it, because if we have a parent that starts complaining about something and we can't cover our CYAs, then it's going to be an issue. All right. So please be lenient, as we move forward with this process. With that being said, I don't want to keep you on here too much, because I know that you guys are at home and you guys are doing work and phone calls and all that, and I you all talk. I don't want to have you all hear me talk the whole time. Do you have any questions?
Well, I had a statement, but go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Mr. Funes, is it to all the teachers, could you please post in your under ISB that that GGI will take place Monday through Friday from 12 to 1, so that the teachers and students will know to jump in for GGI.
Banky says something too. Lori, I'm sorry, Ms. Vega. Are you using Zoom for that today, or are you switching to Google?
Before we can even do that, I'm waiting on Hillary to make that official. So I should know something today. I'm gonna have a conversation with Banky and Hillary today to make sure we will be having those GGIs at 12 from 12 to 1. So
that's what I was asking.
Yeah, and I will make sure I send that email out and let everybody know. If so, it will be starting Monday.
Okay, so
I will let everybody know for sure today.
So should we postpone the 12 o'clock meeting, or because I kind of told some students already, but no, I'm talking. Was GGI for tomorrow or today? Okay, all right.
The GGI that's for today was for Miss Frank.
Yeah, I saw some changes in the emails, and I didn't. Okay.
The operations staff, we host GGI, and we'll be starting probably.
Okay. My other question was, my other statement was related to the importance of just figuring this out. You have to at least devote an hour to figuring out Google Meets, because I talked to Funes about this, and I think Ortiz, Zoom is only allowing us to use it on the teacher free space for so long. So this might be a last resort. So it would behoove you to try to learn it. I have nothing else. I think everything else can be said in the email.
Copy. Does anybody else have anything?
Yeah.
Huh?
Listen, I know Mr. Funes sent the email out, but listen, this is what I'm asking for all staff. If you have a student that is still doing what they need to do, is doing great, can you send it to my email, the student's name? Just send the student's name, and whatever student gets the most votes, I guess. Just like you do another month and staff of the month. Send me personally that student's name. It'll be we're setting up an Excel All-Star. I'm gonna make a flyer, and I'm gonna talk to Banky about some type of incentive we can get that student.
The board is a question of privilege real quick. Now, is that for students that have been successful since the pandemic started in Q3, or are you talking about quarter? Okay, all right.
Someone that's been keeping up with everything that you have.
Yeah, I said Kimmy but I'll send an email out. Yeah.
Really quick, just 1 second. Yeah, Mr. Ortiz, just let me get this one last thing out. Most people that did reply did say Kimmy, but do send Mr. Borders that information.
I saw that. I did see that, but I remember I said I wanted to do 2 students, and so just please, send it directly to me. I was waiting for the email. I'd rather just have to so
Copy that, Mr. Borders, Mr. Ortiz, and then Ms. Lane.
So how are the kids going to know to have this magical new email address?
As you make your phone calls, Mr. Ortiz, you're going to be letting your students know you're going to be this email. And again, like I said, this is not going to be a simple process. It's going to be a little bit rocky.
All right, so I have a question, and let me interrupt, because there are like 16 kids. Can we split them up instead of people calling other people's, like, so we don't have to do so much work? Can we get people assigned to do a certain number of kids so that we don't go around calling everyone 15 times a piece to give them the same email?
That's a great idea.
That is a great idea. Yeah.
Let me see how we're gonna roll that process out. We're probably gonna do like, hey, you're gonna take A, B, and C, D, E, F, G, this, that. We're gonna figure that out. That's a wonderful idea, Ms. Ortiz. And we're gonna come up with some kind of system. I don't know what it's gonna be. I'm gonna have that discussion with Mr. Banky and Mr. Patton afterwards to see how we're gonna run those logistics. So.
And then follow up, what's going on with the 60 laptops? So you can do that tomorrow?
Yes, so I'm going to be handing out laptops tomorrow from 9 to 12. 9 to 12.
So we should be informing students of that because I've had some emails from Autumn Hall and so on and so forth. So, okay, all right. Just didn't want to overload you guys. And they got to call you by appointment, or how y'all doing that? Like,
No, they can just show up to the school.
Okay.
Believe it or not, like there was that day when I handed out 18 laptops, that was pretty smooth. You know, it was not a stressful process. I mean, you know.
Oh, Becky said not all are getting them. Okay. That's understandable.
Okay, if you don't mind. Okay, so I'm concerned about the students that were invited to a GGI today. I'm trying to see what should I be conveying to them. Can you please share with me? Should they be going on Zoom, or should they be waiting? Should I wait for Miss Frank to give a new invite so they can go on Google Meets? I just want to, whatever we're gonna do, I just want it to be consistent. I don't want to seem like we're confused.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. I want you to use whatever you've been using, but on Monday, use.
No, not for me, Mrs. Frank, because she invited some kids and they contacted me. I got text right now, like seriously, and it's
okay.
Okay.
Ms. Frank, just do what you've been doing until, and then we're gonna switch over to that platform again. If it's a little bit too rocky, then just use the platform that you've been using until you can transition. This is something we're rolling out, but we understand that we can't just be like, hey, here you go. So yes, today and tomorrow, use the Zoom or whatever platform you've been using to run your GGI.
Yeah, just
give it a try. Give Google Hangouts a try. You know, as you're rolling this out, it's going to be a transition. It's not going to be perfect. And so please keep in mind as we're moving forward that we'll be using Google Hangouts /Meet/Classroom as you get through this, as we move forward.
Funes, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you. Just on that note, I have a lot of, because I've been having students email me with their homework a lot of times, especially if it was a drawing assignment. Could I just use I know we're getting a list of CPS email. Could I just use that email also to invite them?
You could try. You could try.
Okay, because we are part of a G Suite. Not everybody's part of that G Suite.
Yeah, they sent me like a lot of them. I think most of them, or all of them, were Gmail accounts. I know they're like personal Gmail accounts for the most part, but that would still work, right?
That's the thing. I see. That's what I was trying to tell you guys. The long form of that answer is no, because the way CPS is set up, they make sure that it's pretty much insulated and encrypted by using their CPS EDUs. And a lot of our students come from the CPS environment, if not out of state or suburbs. But in most cases, and this is a nationwide thing with CPS, not nationwide, but company-wide thing with CPS, Google will not allow a student back in. It's even the same with my 15-year-old. I can't really access him unless I'm on my CPS.edu stuff, and he can't email me. So you can try their personal, but it might be a little bit frustrating.
So long as you are hosting the meeting from your Camelot email, you can invite them from a personal email. Not that you can invite their personal emails.
Okay.
If you do it any other way, then we're going to have forms.
Cool.
Force process.
I want to just kind of go off of that. Any way you can wrangle them to come to your class,
right,
it's going to work. All right. If you use their CPS, I'm providing the CPS emails to you in case you go the route of Google Classroom, which is like, again, that's a little bit more advanced, but if you want to take it there, you are more than welcome to take it there. You are not required to do Google Classroom as of yet, but do play around with it on your off time. I'm sure you might have some time. Play around with it. See how it is. Yeah. And as Mr. Banker just pointed out, your Camelot email and their CPS is the safest option. I want you to keep in mind that there's some scandalous stuff happening within CPS, you know, with students and teachers and all kinds of staff. And so we want to protect them. And like Mr. Banker pointed out, it's the safest option.
Yeah.
You know, because we're not getting in touch with their personal emails.
Right.
Like Mr. Banker just pointed out, personal email to their personal email is a no-go. Do not do that. Do not hit them up on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, whatever they're using, TikTok. Tyler, go ahead, Mr. Tyler.
No, I was just going to say, and the other caveat that's, you know, I know I don't want this to seem like it's pressure on everybody, but the other caveat to use in Google Classroom or just a Google suite of options, there are teachers and other networks. So the more we learn this, the more, you know, we reach out to, because CPS they have something called a knowledge base, and they put resources out for teachers like us. So I kind of am leaning towards using it more, because if we get the hang of it, we can pour resources as far as teaching resources from other schools to our school. So just a heads up.
So this is Stonewall. So when teachers are using students' personal email to communicate with them right now, are they allowed to use that personal email to send the CPS email and let them know that that's the default email going forward?
Yes,
that's wise.
Be the best option. Again, any way that you can get them in there as we kind of go from there. Well, again, we're gonna start kind of refining the process as we move forward. Please keep that in mind. So just get them in there for now. You know, record. I don't think that or I don't know if we can even record with this, but you know, just try, do, and see how it works, and we'll keep on refining the process from there. Again, I don't want to keep you, but if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I'm going to be on here. So if you are, can we send a letter to the student providing the CPS email? That's a little bit too complicated. I'm going to share the list of student emails with everybody. We're going to come up with a process on how to contact them and give them their email. If we have to send it to their personal email, then so be it. In the meantime, let us find out exactly how we're going to give them their emails and their password. And I'll be sending that email out today. The how to do the Google Hangout Meet thing, their emails and the password, which is password, so you don't need to worry about that, and the process. So you might be given a chunk of students. It is your responsibility to contact those specific students. Thank you, Mr. Ortiz, for the great suggestion, and very much, Mr. Tyler, for the technical support, and everybody else that has chimed in. Before just double check so I can give this information to Mr. Patton, and he's going to make the schedule today. So the first person who's does anybody have any other questions?
Permission to speak. Okay, so what I'm just thinking, and there's like 18 staff total, I believe, just as a.
Yeah. Pause for a second, Mr. Overdyke. Right now, you're getting some sort of an echo, and it's really jarring.
Okay, is it on now?
If you could mute yourself, please.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
You're gonna mute yourself so that you're not picking up off Overdyke.
Everybody's got to mute themselves or something. I think Funes can do that though.
Everybody mute themselves and let Mr. Overdyke go.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I mean, this is what I do personally, and I'm gonna make just a suggestion for everybody. I know we have a lot of students on our roster, but I have been on a Monday through Friday basis. I've been making 10 phone calls per day So that's like 50. That's like 50 students I'm contacting, probably about half my roster personally. So there's about 18 of us. So we each take on about 10 students, maybe 10 to 15 students. I think that would be just a fair amount for everybody to contact. As far as getting emails out, making the phone calls, and then checking in with their assignments on Etsy. But that's what I've been doing personally. You know, I'm just throwing that out there. Another thing you can do for all the teachers out there is create a roster of your students with a list of their phone numbers, as suggested from Mr. Stonewall, because he emailed me asking for one. And I think instead of just having you look on Etsy for the numbers all the time, you have the roster right in front of you. You can easily make a call to that student just by looking at that number.
Copy that, Mr. Overdyke. So with that being said, we're gonna start dismissing from here. The first person that I see right now is Ms. Frank. So Ms. Frank, do you have any questions, or are you ready to go? All right, can I get your day and time?
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You can hear me. Good. Okay. So my date, I switched it for like the third time. Mondays at 11 a.m.
Okay. See you later, Ms. Frank.
Thank you so much. It's wonderful to see everybody. Take care.
All right. Mr. Ortiz, you're next.
Wednesday at 2 p.m.
Late start there. All right. See you later.
I gotta sleep in, bro. Bye, guys.
Get out of here. You're supposed to be available 9 to 2. Goodbye. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Mr. Overdyke, you're next, buddy.
I was gonna do Wednesdays 10 to 11. That fair?
Got it, Mr. Overdyke. Have a wonderful day.
Copy that. See you later, everybody. Bye.
Mr. Tyler, you're next.
I'm sorry. I was trying to look at what I put in the past. What's available for you guys? I can make myself available. I think last time I think I said something around 1 to 2, but then I heard Ortiz say 2 something. So
yeah, he'll be from 2 to 3.
Okay, so I can just do a 1 to 2 slot. I can do it Monday, I guess.
Okay, you're good to go, Mr. Tyler. Thank you so much for the help. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. All right.
All right.
Mr. Rossi. Mr. Rossi. Miss Lane.
Okay, so I want to change my time. Last time I had Tuesdays from 11 to 12, and what I ran into, a lot of kids said they wasn't up that early. So I think I want to go to a 1 to 2 frame. So because I.
What day, Miss Lane? What day?
Okay, Thursday.
Thursday from 1 to 2.
I went Tuesday and Thursday 1 to 2, but somebody else.
Okay. We'll figure that out, Miss Lane.
Okay, thank you.
More than 1 hour. Have a wonderful day, Miss Lane.
You too. Have a great day.
Mr. Sprague. Spragueinator. Unmute yourself, Mr. Sprague.
Okay, can you hear me now? Sorry, my computer is acting up. It was Tuesdays 10 to 11.
Tuesdays 10 to 11. Okay, Tuesdays 10 to 11. Coolio.
Awesome.
Great Tuesdays 10 to 11. Who's left? I'm Miss
Rollins.
Miss Rollins. Sorry, man, you weren't vocal. Out of sight, out of mind, man. What's your day?
I think I was Wednesday 1 to 2.
Wednesday 1 to 2. Wednesday 1 to 2. You're covered. You're good. Wednesday 1 to 2, Mr. Rollins. Mr. Rossi, are you around, Mr. Rossi?
Rossi just left.
Okay, it's all good. I know Mr. A was going to be doing some stuff. Mr. A, can I put you on the schedule?
Yeah, I'm Tuesday 11 to 12. I'm going to do like a group meeting with diverse learners, and then, I don't know, I want to tutor them with them from there.
Adamitis, Tuesday?
11 to 12.
11 to 12, sir. 11 to 12. 11 to 12. We are so good, Mr. Adamitis.
Hey.
It's good to see that haircut.
Hey, man. Hey, you were asking who had questions. I was wondering where you got that hat.
Is there anybody else available? Were any behavior staff? Did you guys want to do some?
We're setting it up. I already stated. We're setting it up now. I'll let you guys know.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Gordon. Sorry, Mr. Gordon. Well, I'll make sure that Mr. Patton shares this schedule with you guys so that we're not cross. You know.
It shouldn't. That's why I think the teachers paid attention. That's why nobody picked 12 o'clock.
Copy that. Man, it's good to see y'all. I'm gonna I look forward to. Why is everybody frozen? You guys are all like in the same position. All right. Anyways, yeah, everybody else, you guys are good to go. Please have a wonderful day. Adios. And then I'm gonna stay on here to banking and have a discussion. And I'll see you guys soon, right?
Lori can stay too. Whoever else is part of your what do you call it? Transition.
It's just now. It's just Miss Vega and myself now.
Share your screen and open up Aspen.
So I'm gonna stop the recording and I'll see you guys later. I'll send it to you afterwards.
All right, for sure. Thank you.